to sell the property. It doesn't. Because what happened in most cases is that if a property is on the market for sale, the agents are not concerned of what the municipal value it is, because what happened is that it's sometimes not accurate or not even equivalent of what, not to say, okay, I'm not going to say it's accurate, but I'll say, I may just remove that word accurate. It's not equivalent to what is actually the market value, because this process of municipal valuation run, it happens every 5 years. And a lot has happened in the market. So you cannot base your sale of the property market value on a 5-year municipal run. So what is important for you is, what are the properties, what is the price of property that are sold in this area? And how much are you willing to pay? So even if I'm asking, like, I'm trying to negotiate, sometimes I'll do that. I'll try to negotiate and say, no, the municipal value property says this property is worth 1 million. Why are you selling it for 1.5 million? And the judge said, no, you can't look at the municipal valuation, because it's not updated as yet in terms of what is currently happening. So do not so much concern of what it is. What is important is how much. And that is why, in Indo, what I've learned in this process of being a valuer is that this property that are sold in an auction, they actually impact the market values of properties in a certain area, especially when we, like, for instance, a bank, before it gives you a bond, to grant you a bond, they say, in terms of affordability, you meet the criteria, but we need, therefore, to do our valuation. You're going to send our value of the property to see if whether what the agent is asking or the seller is asking is actually the market value of the property. And then they will send that valuer, and then he'll do his assessment. I know it has happened to me when I was selling my property in Cape Town. A valuer came, and then I was trying to actually push the value of this property. When I was following the valuer around and said, you see, there's a swimming pool there. You see, there's a 6-bedroom house here. You see, I changed this and that. I said, okay. It's writing down. Okay. Okay. And then I felt like he wasn't even interested to say there's a granite thing tops here. I was like, no, what? Actually, the granite's not going to assist you in terms of actually pushing your value. For me, what is important is how many bedrooms this property. Ask me, how many bedrooms does this property have? Swimming pool, because it does actually sometimes add. Okay. Are the building plans? Has this house been extended before? I'm like, no, I don't think so. Okay, cool. So those are the questions that we're asking. So as properties that are bought on an auction, sometimes they influence it, because you find that 2 properties next to you were bought at an auction at a very ridiculous price. And now that when you're doing your market value analysis, you factor those, but it needs a clever valuer to go back to the records. How were they purchased? Because they know that properties bought at an auction, they're not bought at the actual market value, because they were there to get a discount, a ridiculous discount. So therefore, it's important that you understand that when you're evaluating, you need to take into consideration that if for instance, sometimes when you're doing this valuation, you find that, there are 3 properties here that were bought at 250, but most of properties here are sold at 1.8 million. Then it triggers that to say, no, they were bought at an auction. So therefore, you need to do, we call it in our market value or valuation terms, an adjustment, so that you can adjust in terms of that sale, because remember, it was not an actual market value. So it's important maybe that they don't have to consider them at all, because how are you going to compare apples to oranges? Because really it does not make sense. So just to come back to the question, was that it is indeed doesn't make any difference when you focus on the value. Ask the agent, how much is the value of properties here? We tell Malin, the previous owner, how much did he buy it for? Go back to the records and check that there's something called a light stone. check. This guy bought this house in 2022 for 950,000, and now he wants to sell it for 1.5. No, he's crazy. That's where you negotiate and say, because I mean, why are you gonna be so high? And then the house next door to him was sold at 1 million, and now he wants. Then that's where you negotiate. You start negotiating on the table, coming up, bringing up facts, and there have been questions coming through. So would it be better to purchase